Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio, the podcast for all things Mecha. Jumpship incoming.
Welcome to Mobile Armor Radio. This is episode 80 of the ongoing series of us discussing giant stompy robots. My name is Rob.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Chopper.
And we're here once again, as I said, to discuss giant stompy robots. It is January, the end of January, February. It's cold. It's horrible out. And
it is cold.
Yeah.
It is that funny thing where we're recording actually kind of earlier than the month.
Well, do you want to discuss
for
why?
Reasons.
Yeah.
Sure. So, I'm actually, my wife and I are going to be expecting our first baby here basically in 4 days.
4 days, yay!
From the recording.
Yay.
So before this episode comes out, he should be a papa.
Yeah, by the time the episode airs, we should hopefully be home.
Yeah, hopefully be home and relaxing.
Hopefully be home. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So everybody congratulate Brian on his upcoming birth, or his birth as at the time. And yeah,
Mazel tov.
we look forward to
Hey.
lots of Gundam-themed onesies. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
You know,
crossed my mind.
I've got a gift card here for Amazon. I need to
Check
I need
that
to
out.
get some things ordered quick.
Maybe
If you want to
Evangelion.
send Brian a Gundam onesie,
that's right.
we'll
Contact
put
us.
a
We'll
mail-
get his information right to you.
contact, email us, and then we'll get that address out to you.
Until then, this was the Jumpship. We're going to the Dropship, so get your prepared. We're going down. Anything else to discuss before we go there? I don't think so. The important news is out, and yeah.
Look at Rob just trying to push us on through.
Well,
What the heck?
it's so cold. The battery in my mech didn't work the other day.
It is cold out. It is horribly polar vortexing right now, but hopefully, maybe by the time this comes out, it'll be sunny and warm.
And those poor people in Florida don't know what to do.
Yes.
Did you see the video of the guy in Florida grinding pink Himalayan salt onto his ice in his driveway?
We're all from northern climes, so we make fun of you southern people.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, we're going to Dropship.
Dropship landing.
Welcome to the Dropship. We're here to discuss what we're working on, if we've been working on anything. I have a feeling the two fellas above me have not been working on much, especially the one. He's busy. He's making his own future mech.
Yep.
Mech pilot.
So then we can do the whole power loader thing like
Oh,
in
yeah.
Aliens.
That's
He's creating his first Voltron Force team.
That's right.
All it needs now is 2 legs. He's got 2 arms and a body.
Anyways, Brian, I assume you haven't been working on much?
Not really. My printer is still unfortunately down. And yeah, that's about the size of it. Trying to think if there really was anything else that I'd had going on. I did get a whole bunch of stuff like primed prior to winter. With the idea being it's like, oh, like in those moments where I like find myself with some free time available, throw some paint on some stuff, but that has yet to happen. So yeah, not much going on my tabletop for hobby time as of yet.
Well, that's unfortunate. I actually forgot to do the sponsor read, so I'll do that now. The Dropship is brought to you by John Bear Ross. He is back doing his Patreon. Now you can be a patron and get a monthly 50% discount on his My Manufactory Cults or CG Trader for just $1.99 a month. So it's much worth it if you're going to buy any of his stuff.
Not a month. That's a steal.
Wow.
All projects.
That's going to be my new saying for this thing. $1.99 a month. That's a steal.
Yeah, all his projects are available on My Manufactory. Just search out John Bear Ross, and we'll have the link in the show notes. And we thank him for being a loyal sponsor and friend of the show. And I will mention that his we were talking about the Jagdhund, Project Jagdhund. It's now available to everybody. It was part of that, I forget what company was doing it, but it's part of their Patreon. But now it is out. It is $34.99 with a 50% discount if you join his Patreon. It's much worth it if you want this giant mech. It is huge.
It's nice. And I will tell you, it's not my turn for Dropship, but you finish up, Rob, and then I will talk more about it.
Yes. Well, okay. But first of all, yeah, it's he has that out now. I will show a picture of it with the in scale. That little miniature down there, that little guy, that's 28 millimeters. So that's how big this MFer is.
How cute that little guy is.
He's literally the size of this thing's toe. So that's how giant this is. For $30 and about $80 worth of resin, you can have an amazing mech. It's much cheaper than certain other companies, let's just say. And he also just, I think it was today, he just released his what is it called technically? The treads for the Gigante-B. Instead of having legs, you can do treads for these big mechs now, which is kind of fun.
That's cool.
I don't know if that's in the actual rules for...
I haven't seen it yet. Is it? Or did you see a picture of it?
There is a picture right here, yes, but you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. Is it triangular treads or like tank treads?
They're kind of like they're separate. Each tread's like a separate... There's 4 treads on the bottom of it. You can watch the show and find out.
It's like a lander tread. Okay.
And so it's I don't know. You could probably use it in a certain game, but I'm not sure. The links for both those are in the show notes also. So that was the sponsor read, a little late, but we did it. Pat, what have you been working on, coincidentally, talking about the sponsor read?
Well, I have been working a little bit. I will say that most of my hobby time was distracted by my Christmas gift that I got from my wife, which was the Burrador Lego set and lighting kit for it.
It is quite large. What is it?
It's ginormous. I have to get a separate table to keep it on because it won't fit on my shelves. I will say we're a little off topic here with this thing, but I will say it took me maybe 3 weeks of working on it, almost 5 days a week for an hour or two.
It's the most dedication you've shown anything in your life.
That's not true, but we'll move on. I'm going to just let that insult shrug right off my shoulder. But that being said, my wife was also building a Lego kit, so whenever I would finish the bag sets we were building, before her, I would be down in the basement. We were building in the basement. I would then start to work on what's left in my basement. Like, I've cleaned up a lot of stuff. You'd be surprised. Like, you can see that back corner now.
That's amazing. Before it was just covered in empty or full boxes of.
I tossed a lot of shit away. But that being said, part of that cleanup got me to my printers, which I've been putting off because I haven't printed stuff in a while because I was getting frustrated with tuning it, and I think I finally got it. Nice. But that being said, I haven't printed anything, and I had left the resin in there and forgot about it. And so now I went back to it to clean it. I said, all right, I've been putting off because I was afraid what might have happened. Luckily for me, the resin just separated. Nothing leaked. I was able to clean everything up.
Unfortunately,
and I started printing up the Jagdhund.
Oh, nice. You started?
Yeah, I started. I think I printed up the first part of the head.
First part of the
head. It's
going
to go slow go because I'm working a lot this month. So on my days off is when I'll be printing. So it's going to be a slow print for me.
Wow.
But I am excited for printing it. I did print up the Scorpion thing a while ago and forgot about it in my car, and now it's just turned into this brittle mess.
It's a bit of a joke in Pat's car. If you go in the back seat, it's just pieces of Scorpion back all over the thing. It's in the doors. It's in the back window.
The sad thing, and no dispersion, John, it was a great looking model, and it was half painted, and I just forgot about it in the summer in the back in the back sill, and it just turned into this like if you sneeze in the opposite direction, something breaks off it.
You're not supposed to leave resin miniatures in the window of your car.
No. So
lesson learned.
Once I get this Jagdhund done, I will try and reprint it again because I do want to finish painting it, and it's sad because I put a lot of effort to the port, and I had it all based into a yellowish tan. All I had to do now is just paint up all the metal and.
You should use it as like a destroyed base for the Jagdhund to be stepping on.
Oh, that's a good idea.
There you go.
Because I
been reading those books. We talked about this in the last episode. My wife got me the scenic model making books and explosion and other things, and I'm really tempted to do that. Maybe I can have the Jagdhund step in on the Scorpion robot.
It's because the legs, you could splay them out now.
They're all over the car. Those legs.
I think they're in the door. They're in the door frame.
Some are in the door. Some are on the back window still. The guns finally fell off the tail.
Oh man!
It's
been like over a year. It's been sitting in his back window. So
it's been longer than that.
I think it is.
Yeah. Jesus, if it was a live Scorpion, it would have killed me by now.
Yes, that's true.
And things left to be painted on the table, of course, is the neon genre. I'm not even going to talk about that. But I'm getting closer to having more room and a little more organized, so I can really concentrate. Because it was really bugging me how, I'm not the cleanest person in the world, but I am definitely not what my basement had become.
Yeah, well, they say that a clean workspace is a productive workspace. So.
Yeah, I mean, and there was just a lot.
That sounds like a lie.
It was a lot of crap, and I think you've been down in my basement too, Brian. You've seen how much shit is down there.
There's a bit.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff.
And not that I'm not working for Mantic too, I was able to get rid of a lot of boxes of stuff that I don't need anymore. So, but other than that, the no painting. But it's also been very cold down in the basement, so I didn't get very much painting done. But I have started painting the Jagdhund.
Jagdhund. Yes.
The Jagdhund.
We can't wait to see it, because if my printer was working, I would be printing it also.
Yeah, well, I have a second printer that just needs a home. I haven't been using it.
Getting it there would be an issue, but I'll just save up my poor little monies to eventually buy a printer. As for me, I did, from my Christmas, my buddy Jack, he gave me the Death Scythe from, I think it's from Wing? Is it from Wing?
Gundam Wing, yeah.
Yeah,
Gundam Wing. Was that a perfect grade or a master grade?
This is just the high grade, HG.
Oh, it's just the high grade, okay.
And he's cool, and I built him. So I do have the Death Scythe. I have the other Death Scythe too, the one with the big wings.
Like the other did you line him?
No, I don't do anything like that, Pat. I build them. That involves work. God,
you can't even line them? They have pens for that now.
I do have the pens. Actually, I think my pens dried out because I never used them. But anyways, so I did that. That was my Christmas gift. So I'm happy to have actually built a model this year. I don't think I built even one last year. So it's good to build. Other than that, I haven't done much. Like I say, my printer's gone, so I haven't been printing anything. That usually is my hobby. So maybe it's an excuse to actually start painting things, because I have a lot of great plastic around here.
We're going to be doing that in the next week or so.
Okay. We're going to start painting.
After I work this stretch, I'm going to start painting again.
I do have a whole box full of Wolf's Dragoons. I meant to do the whole battalion, and I haven't done it yet. So it's only like 100 mechs, I think, so I should start painting that.
Oh, only 100.
Yeah. Well, they're all the same paint scheme. It should be easy. I'll just mass produce them. Except for the command group has a different color. I think I've done the command group already. So I just got the regular troops. I guess that's it for Dropship. We'll thanks again to John Bear Ross, and we'll move on to the ComStar. There is some big news in the ComStar, so we can't wait to talk about that. Be back.
Message from ComStar.
Welcome to ComStar. We're here to talk TVs, movies, books, comics, RPGs, video games, and especially tabletop gaming this time, because a little company that's from Japan, a little company that could, called Bandai, they're starting a Gundam tabletop game. I could have sworn last month I should say, we discuss how there's no Gundam tabletop game and how come that doesn't exist? And like a week after we said that,
there is one that
their ears were burning,
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a fan-made one, but this is official from Bandai.
What's the scale on it?
As we'll see. You could see these pictures. We have painted examples. It says coming soon. A bunch of different, all from different parts of the oeuvre, as they say. So we got wing, we got original, even a white base. They have a white base. Approximately for the regular Gundam is 2 inches tall. So what's that? Yeah.
2 inches. So they're like Battletech size.
Yeah, I guess so. What's 2 inches in millimeters? We don't speak inches in tabletop gaming there, Japan.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. 1 inch is 2.2 centimeters.
So 22 centimeters. So 44 centimeters. Yeah, it's about Battletech's. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So 2 inches.
There you go. Thanks for that. Compared to Brian's head, it is going to be that size. There you go.
As my image keeps
Glitching
out.
Yeah. So we don't know anything about this game yet, but
wait, no, I take that back. An inch is 2.5.
Oh, so 50 inches.
So 5 centimeters. Yeah.
50 millimeters. That's pretty big. That's like
that's still bent. That's still
that's right around 5.
That's a good size, mech size. Yep. Yeah. So we could see they have some things that they're going to announce later in the year, but this was.
Did they announce that they were pre-painted?
They're not pre-painted. No, they're gray plastic.
Perfect. And I noticed that they're hex bases. So
yep, hex bases. Except for some of the pictures show round bases. So we assume that the round bases maybe were for demoing, and now they put in these hex bases. The hex bases look just like the bases they make for their full-size models. So maybe that's. I think what they're trying to do is focus this as, hey, look, it's a miniature collect them all kind of thing. Also, also it's a game because in Japan it's big on just building. So. I think
you can use it on your own Battletech table. Wink, wink.
Well, I think they're making a game for it, so we'll see how. Well, I bet the game will be pretty basic. Is what I'm guessing, but it'll be fun anyways to get these miniatures.
Well, it'll be big enough that I can use them on those stupid HeroScape tiles I got.
There you go. You can see the runner here. It looks like it's not like a Robotech Tactics where it's just a miniature model. They actually look like they have someone who knows what they're doing, and you can see that it's pretty much a single piece. There's the leg part you have to get on, and one of the arms and backpacks and shields and stuff. But generally, the body itself, it's pretty together for the.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Yeah, we can't complain too much about that. Yeah. And the selection they're showing, I guess there's even going to be balls and things, which is hilarious. But they got all the Xeon, they got Goofs, they got a bunch of other things. So
I need I always forget the name. The Tri Guys. What are they called again?
I don't remember. I never remember.
Oh, the
names.
Black Tri-Stars.
Tri-Stars. I always forget stars. I know it's try something.
Yeah.
I always forget the Tri-Stars.
The white base is obviously not to scale. It's going to be a lot smaller. It's 3 bases size, so it's
Can you imagine if that was to scale?
Yeah, that'd be the size of a table. So
yeah,
but
I have to think about it. Yeah,
fun. It's collect them all kind of thing. I think it'll be quite fun. Gundam Assemble is what it's.
You think there would be the same size as those Gundam models we got from? Remember all those loads of Gundams models we were buying? I forget who made them. They're the resin ones.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I do not have any Gundam miniatures.
You know what? It wasn't even Gundam. It was Robotech. Never mind.
Yeah, Robotech. Yeah, I think it would be similar to Robotech scale. Yes, that's from Kit's Hobby, your Kit's Concept.
Oh yeah.
Never mind. I don't know why I had in my head that those were Gundam models.
Yeah. They were actually Macross ones, so it's Japanese at least.
Yeah.
But so it's exciting. A lot of talk about it, and like all the tabletop people are talking about it. So obviously it was something that people want because there's a lot of people, like even my friend at work who plays 40K, doesn't play anything else, but he heard about it and he's like, "Yeah, I'm so excited." I was like, "Let's see." So
it's Gundam. Like I said, it's like one of the firsts,
and it's very popular still, like to this day. So it makes sense that these guys are gonna finally do something with it with the Bandai. I would rather Bandai have given it to somebody else, like an actual miniature company, to do, but them doing it themselves, we'll see how it goes. So far, so good.
It'd be all right because they make good models.
Yeah, it's the rules. I don't think the rules is going to be the issue. The rules.
Well, I'm hoping what they did is they do like what Mantic used to do and just kind of hire someone per DM.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens. We don't know much more than this. I'm sure probably by the time this comes out, we'll have a lot more because that's what always happens.
Yeah. But
hopefully, we'll find out more about this game. What else? I just want to show this one off because it's crazy. There's something called the Lewin Resources M01 Steel Fortress. It's a 4-foot tall Metroplex that they're selling for Transformers. This thing transforms. It's 4 freaking feet tall. I can't imagine the price. Like it's got to be thousands of dollars.
This thing's ginormous.
Yeah.
Does it transform or is it just?
Yeah, it transforms into the base, but
Okay, so all I see is the robot form.
yeah, it's just in people's hands now. So I'm sure we'll get a lot more of the other versions of it once it's And also, you have to imagine trying to transform this thing. You'd have to have about 3 people holding it and manipulating it if it's that big. It's the size of not a small child, like an old child. So,
yeah, I'm looking at it. Looks beefy.
It's pretty cool. I just thought it was neat that there's a 4-foot tall.
It is. I'm watching it. Look at the Instagram. It is changing shape as we speak.
So there you go.
They didn't show the full change. It just showed part of the change.
For the rest of ComStar, I might as well just mention that I watched Gundam Requiem for Vengeance. I finally got around to watching it. I watched the whole series. As with computer generation, the actual character models aren't very good, but the mech fights are pretty awesome. And I thought the story was pretty fun. Like, it really showed it from the Xeon kind of side.
I've only watched the first episode.
I won't spoil it, but it really shows that the Gundam in it is like a freaking Godzilla. Like, when he shows up, it's like, oh my god, this is scary. Like, it's from their point of view, this thing's like a monster, like literally. So it's really quite good showing that from that point of view. You're so used to being, hey, it's Amuro, he's a good guy. No, this is a monster. And yeah, it's a pretty fun story. So a lot of people didn't like it. Obviously, computer generation turns a lot of people off, especially, like I say, the character models, not great. But I found the characters, I liked them, and made me not hate Xeon people as much. So, although there's a lot of terrible Xeons too.
There's some bad ones, but there are also bad Fetty guys too.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the point of the whole Gundam, is there is no
but
good
the
guys.
whole Xeon force is just misunderstood. So it is.
Yeah, it's not like they were invading the area that they were
No.
Yeah, it's not like they were on Earth not for good reasons. Let's just say so.
Yeah.
But the characters are good, and it's a fun little story, and I think it's worth watching if you have a chance.
How many episodes is it again? 10?
6. It's not very long. 6. It's like 6 or 8.
It's
something
not
like
terribly long.
Yeah.
I think it's only 6.
Yeah, and they're like half an hour episodes. So it's worth it. Don't be too overly critical, and enjoy the mech fights, because the mech fights are pretty cool, and some of the visuals of the Gundam is pretty cool.
6 episodes.
How about let's start with Pat? Anything you've been watching or reading or doing anything?
Not too much. I took a break with my Dark Age reading because I got the Alex Van Halen biography book for Christmas, so I started reading that. I did watch the first episode of Gundam Requiem and enjoyed it. Just haven't gotten back to it yet. It's on the list of things to be watched. Have I done any other thing reading? I've been keeping up with the Voltron Kickstarter. Did we talk about that last month?
I'm not sure we did.
So yeah, kickstarted the Voltron art role-playing game, and with one of the what do they call it again? Stretch goals. With the Voltron is a Voltron board game. They started releasing some small pics about it and some blurbs about it, so I'm kind of excited for that too.
Cool.
Looking forward to the Voltron RPG. It is the Lion
The Lion one
version of Voltron, to be clear, because as you know, I'm more of a fan of the vehicle one myself.
Me
but
too.
I don't hate the Lion ones, especially the newer version. I do like the newer version better than the older version.
Yeah.
But that's
The older one was just so boring. It's just
it was it was cartoony of the time.
Yeah.
It didn't differ from Star Blazers or Battle of the Planets,
Thundercats,
or even Thundercats at that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the remake of Thundercats, really good.
I think that generally when they remake, I think even the He-Man one is very good. I haven't watched it, but it's it's still going, so it must be all right.
This is not really Beck related, but I'm going to mention it anyways. I watched Shin Ultraman because it showed up on Netflix.
Ultraman for sure counts.
That counts.
We've talked about Ultraman before.
I didn't finish it though. I only got into the first hour. But it starts out, it guns a-blazing, man. They start out with this big giant kaiju wrecking the whole thing. People.
It's a live action.
It goes from 0 to 10 right away. And
all
they're trying
of the
to.
Shin, Shin Godzilla, Shin Ultraman, Shin Kamen Rider, like all the I think is that Hideaki Anno?
I think so. Yeah.
Uh, that guy loved this stuff and just always
Yeah.
cranks it right up.
It goes fast, and then like he comes in right away, and then he does battle the thing, and I'm not going to spoil it if anyone want to watch it because it is now on Netflix. I think is where I watched it, but I only got in the first hour because then the wife came home and I had to go do some stuff for in the house, and I haven't gotten back to it yet. So I'm gonna have to go back to it again. That's like number one on the list when I get some time off to watch TV.
I will say also on Tubi they have some Gundam on there now too, so it's all over the place. So there's no lack of places to find stuff to watch. Disney's Plus in Canada at least. I don't know if it finally got to the States, has all the Macross too. So I got to get back to watching those.
I think Macross finally got to the States. I think it's on. Is it on Tubi?
Yeah, no, I thought it's on Hulu, isn't it? Is it on Hulu
might
in the
be on
States?
Hulu. Someone was telling me.
Where was it on Canada?
It's on Disney, but Hulu is on Disney also in Canada. So.
I'll just VPN and then I'll watch it on Disney.
It's somewhere.
That's how I watched. What was it on Disney that wasn't shown in America?
I don't know.
What was
it Interior Chinatown?
Yes, Interior Chinatown.
That was not on Disney in the States. Yeah.
No, I forget where that was at. So I think it was on Peacock here in the States, and I don't have Peacock, so I had to VPN into Ontario to get Interior Chinatown.
Don't you mean you went to Ontario?
Yeah, that's right. You sat in your car and watched.
VPNs aren't illegal.
I think they're great. Well, how'd you get the password to someplace in Ontario? That's what the illegal part is.
You hear it both radio.
So,
it'll be easier for me just to VPN and watch it on Disney than to.
It's nice when it's all in one place. Yeah. I got to get a watching order though, because it's all Delta and all Frontier. It's like which one goes where and how do I watch these in order? So
yeah, we'll have to definitely check that out. So
yeah, Frontier is a good one to if you're coming from old Robotech Macross. Frontier is a good one to jump into, and then depending on you can kind of go in either direction from there. It really comes down to musical tastes. Do you like 90s J-Rock?
Yes.
By 90s J-Rock, I mean like American 80s, like Bon Jovi.
Oh, that's Pat's jam.
Like the band Loudness, man.
Loudness. Macross 7.
Loudness was the band out of Japan, man. They rocked.
Yeah. Jam Project. Yeah, it's good stuff.
But that's all I got. What do you got, Brian?
Yeah, what you got, Brian?
Admittedly, didn't. I think I just got like an hour or two more in on Armored Core, but I have gotten a few more play sessions in with my brother going through Halo 5 on co-op now, which it is still a fun time, but it is that thing like I'm definitely finding that I've enjoyed the earlier entries in the game franchise a bit more. Do some neat things in Halo 5, but ultimately I think there were other directions I would have taken it if I ran the zoo.
Yeah.
I will say I did watch what was that, Secret Level?
Oh yeah.
I have not yet. I need to do that.
And that was.
Did we talk about that last time? I think we talked
about it being out, but I had not watched it.
Yeah.
I had since then watched it and I enjoyed the Armored Core one.
Yeah, I need to watch the Armored Core one. I heard, that that Warhammer one's supposed to be pretty good.
40K was a good one.
The Mega Man one's supposed to be pretty good too.
I haven't seen the Mega Man one yet, but
I need to watch.
There is a Japanese one that's very good. It had really great animation on it.
Yeah, a lot of the animation's good. There's a few really bad ones, but most of them are pretty good. Just like Death, Love, and Robots. It's the same producer, so it's kind of like the same hit percentage.
I do feel like they're also very much shorter. Like these are 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes long.
If 20 minutes, yeah. Some of them are very short.
I think the 40K one's one of the longest ones.
Yeah. Armored Core is pretty long too.
I think other than that, it's I guess more just kind of news type things that I've been keeping an eye out. Is there's that new Mobile Suit Gundam GQX.
Is that like a photo shoot where they're in suits?
That's right.
No,
Oh.
this is the new Gundam by Hideaki Anno.
Oh, really?
An Ultraman guy. Uh, I'll send it to the group chat here. It's it looks wild. Like the designs for this are really kind of off the wall. There's a lot of influence from like a visual aesthetic from like Die Buster and Fooly Cooly, which is kind of neat. It's one of those like Gundam like you've never seen Gundam before, and that's saying something because we've had G Gundam.
Oh, sounds like it's been out. It just came out like a week ago.
It like just came out in Japan. Another thing, G Kids is actually doing a theatrical release stateside for some of it. There's a film and I think there's a TV series in the works. So kind of getting the clarification on that, but yeah, so it's kind of like it's a Universal Century story, but in some kind of weird alternate continuity, and I won't go too deep into that synopsis because I imagine that could be an interesting or at least different kind of experience for people if they go into it fresh.
Yeah, some of these designs look crazy. Like I'm looking at
the designs look really wild, and so that came out, and then I just actually before we recorded on my phone, I got the notice that there's signs of life for the Hathaway's Flash Part 2.
Oh wow, yeah, that's been a while.
It's that seems like it's been forever since we have seen that, but let's see. Just kind of see if I can pull that up real quick and see if there was any announcement of when the next one is actually going to be out. 2025 sometime.
That's this year now, guys.
That's this year.
It
The
is
distant future. So, well, I'm excited to see where that one goes. Again, another Universal Century series, but that one I think I don't even know if it counts as like an alternate continuity as well. It's hard to keep track.
It seems like it's a continuation. I don't think it's alternate. It seems like it's.
It seems like a continuation, but it's one of those like for so long.
It forgot
like,
some stuff. Yeah.
Continuity was X, Y, and Z kind of thing. It's not quite Star Wars apocryphal as far as like Legends books and non, but
Naan? Do you like me some Indian bread?
Some butter chicken?
But yeah, so just some big news on that front. So excited to see where the new giant robot shows are coming out.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Especially that.
Otherwise, that's all I really got.
I'm excited about that one. Hopefully, it gets a. Pretty soon they do a English dub or English sub, so we get that in North America. Anything else we got going on?
It is getting a US
I'm sure it is.
release. Yeah,
but hopefully soon. That's the thing.
Yes.
Usually it's quite a while, like a couple months after it comes out in Japan. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll talk about it when it comes out because we'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
ComStar. Nothing else. I guess we'll move on to our main topic in the MechBay Hanger after this then. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Now entering the MechBay Hanger.
Right. Brian's lost his head. Welcome to
He's
the MechBay
bobblehead.
He's a bobblehead now. Welcome to MechBay Hanger. We're acting like children. You know why? Look at that. That's
Brian's
a segue.
gonna have one.
So we're gonna do.
Gearing up for it.
Yep. For this one, we're doing a list of top 3 children in mech anime.
Yay!
It didn't have to be mech anime, but it's hard to think of.
Teens is the way I would say.
Pat went for teens. I went for children. Brian kind of went in the middle. He was kind of in the middle with them.
I couldn't find any goats.
Goats.
I think they exist though. I think there's probably some mech shows that have goats in them.
I'm sure that I would be very surprised if they're not kids somewhere in there. So I might as well start because hey, I'm the host. My first child, because I went for children, unlike Pat, is I chose one from Gundam, and
they're slightly kids. They're not the worst.
They're not the worst, but they're
not the worst.
What you saying? They're not full blown adults. What I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, one of my I'm a little on the edge on one of yours, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, I see which one you're thinking of, and you're pushing that one.
My first one is an actual child from Gundam. It is Kika Kamota, the one of the wacky little kid orphans that cause trouble on the white base. It's the girl one because she's the cutest. The guys are kind of annoying, but she runs around with her little dolly and makes funny faces, and they add a little humor to the Gundam. Unlike most children in anything, they don't ruin it. They actually add a little humor to it. So that is my first one, and because she's just so goddamn adorable. Look at her. Look at her. Anyways.
The like super deformed, like cute faces seems like it's a lost art these days. Like a lot of more contemporary anime just don't do that as well.
Especially with kids, yeah.
Yeah.
These kids were they were caricatures of children.
Mm-hmm.
In the Gundams. So that's my first one. That setting the stage. We'll see where these guys go from there. Let's go to Brian. What's your first one, Brian?
Sure. So I think the first one I'll do is Raphael Raff Esquire. And I've never really remember how to pronounce his last name. Esquivel from Transformers Prime. Transformers Prime is just a really fun, heartfelt Transformers show for kids.
I think it's Esquivel.
Esquivel. Because I think it kind of
it looks Hispanic.
It looks Hispanic.
His name is
Latino.
Yeah,
it looks like Latino.
Yeah,
and so Raph is like the youngest of the three human characters, and he really befriends like Ratchet. They get along really well as like he's the only one that can kind of like talk to Bumblebee. Like he kind of understands.
This is a movie Bumblebee where you can't speak.
Yeah. It's movie Bumblebee where he can't speak. This was the show that came out following the Michael Bay Transformers movies, so they had the same designs kind of carrying over. And he's just a really fun character to engage with. He's kind of the nerd of the group.
It's because he's got glasses, I can tell.
It's because he's got glasses, and he's got that kind of like not Jimmy Neutron hair, but
a little bit, yeah.
Spiked up straight.
He does have Jimmy Neutron hair,
and he does wear a vest. So yes, he is obviously
a geek. But he's just a really neat kid. Like they do a really good job in Prime as balancing like the child characters and how they interact and interrelate to the plight of the Transformers themselves. And I just always really liked Raph's character.
I've never watched Prime. Is it worth watching?
It's a fun one. I think so. I think it's worth it.
I've been meaning to watch it.
There's so many there's a lot of like later day Transformers that aren't good. So I would like to try one that is actually good. So
that one's
Bumblebee in Prime. Is that the one with Keen or the guy from Key and Peele?
No.
No.
Which Transformers that?
Don't know.
With Helmsworth voicing Megatron.
Oh, that's late. That's the new movie. That's
one
Transformers.
That's not out yet.
No, it is.
Transformers One. Okay,
it's out. It bombed, and they're not making any more Transformers movies because of it. None of us saw it, unfortunately. It's supposed to be really good.
Prime is got still has Peter Welker, as Optimus. I think it's still the original kind of Optimus and Megatron voices.
Welker's Megatron and Peter.
Oh, sorry, I had
Peter.
I knew I had both names. I'm like,
did.
This is not sounding right in my head.
Well, comment below. Make us seem like we're not Transformers fans. Tell us.
Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of like the only Transformers series I really kind of watched in completion.
You never watched
I
G1?
really haven't seen many. I never got around to watching
G1. The first season of G1 is actually really good, and then it's just like becomes the first season's great though, and the movie comes out and the movie's great obviously, but
Yeah. Yeah,
Pat,
go watch Transformers Prime.
There you go. I'm gonna go watch it. Pat, what's your first one?
My third one is going to be May from Pacific Rim Black.
Yeah, she's not a child.
It's questionable. She could. I think she's in her late teens.
Late teens, as in 20-something. Yes.
I always thought her she was
Child
younger.
at
I
heart.
thought she was like 17, 18.
Could be.
They don't ever really say how old she is.
No, I give
She
you
just
that.
says she's an orphan, so
Yes.
Orphans are only children.
she could even be 16. That's all because she gets like a hardened 16.
She is pretty hard.
And that's why I liked her in that series.
She's great in the series, yeah.
Pacific Rim, because she's was raised good, but her life has made her
Well, yeah. She
questionable.
fell in with the wrong crowd. Let's just say.
Yes. So I do enjoy her
doing
character a lot.
drugs
Yeah.
Probably.
and listening to rap music.
So
Most definitely.
one of the reasons why I did pick her because she got a great character and she's still ambiguously. I don't think she's an adult, but I don't think she is below 12.
Well, there you go. So it's all good.
That's the range.
Yeah, but she was,
I don't think
and she
you're an
was,
adult,
but
but
she
you're
was a
not
really
12.
good. She was a really good character.
Good
She
character, yeah.
she was the one that would cross the line when we needed to, but would bring it back when to do the right thing.
Yep.
Mhm.
She is a great character in the show. But if anybody hasn't watched Pacific Rim Black, please go watch it because it is great. I could say it's probably better than the second movie, but I like the second movie. I could have chose people from the second movie. Yeah, there's a lot of kids in that
Second
actually.
movie, I had a hard time with the second movie.
Yeah, it was alright.
That's fair.
It reminded me of anime because it was all children fighters, which is always funny. My number 2, and she's a child in Robotech 2, so it counts, is Dana Sterling. And the first Zentradi/human hybrid.
She's only 15.
May?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
She had said she was born in 2020,
And
and
she was
then
born in...
her parents died in 2035.
The distant future.
Yeah, but then she's been around. Her parents didn't just die in that show.
Well, like I said, she's still younger. She's not what I would say 25, 26.
I will not let this go.
Anyways,
I'm not.
my character is Dana Sterling because she was a baby in Robotech 2 and the child of Max and Mira. And she eventually goes on to star in Robotech The Masters series. My question is, hey, that's funny. She has like bluish green hair when she's a child, and somehow she ends up with blonde hair in another series that may or may not be associated with Robotech at all. It's I like they retcon that one. Somehow her hair changes color.
I'm sure it was in a weird baby tossing incident. She fell into a vat of bleach that just made her hair go blonde.
But she was a cute little baby in Robotech 2.
And robotechnology.
Robotechnology, that's the answer. That is always the answer.
Robotechnology.
But first human Zentradi hybrid. So, and her parents, they have an interesting life. So, it's Dana Sterling. That's number 2 for me. Back to Brian.
I'm gonna shout out here Sei Iori from Gundam Build Fighters, the first of the Build Fighters. It's a trilogy at this point. We had Build Fighters Try, and then or is there 4 or 5? There's a lot of Build Fighters at this point, but Sei and his buddy Reggie were the first 2. Sei always reminds me of one of my great college friends. We actually cosplayed as the 2 characters, and has a huge love for Gundam. He's the whole premise of the show is that they build the model kits so that they can kind of fight in this digital arena, but the model kits actually get damaged and stuff, and it's like Beyblades but with Gundam, and
That's probably exactly how they sold the show too.
Right? Like, not wrong. But yeah, Sei is just one of those characters that just has a really great passion to him, a love for a lot of these like Gundam and these games and everything like that, and just is really compassionate to other characters, and yeah, I just say he's a really cool character, and I wanted to make sure I shout him out. Now it's my turn to see is Sei Iori.
Oh, definitely kid.
How old were you in this show, Sei? He was 13. Okay. Borderline. He's a teenager.
No, he's a teenager. It's all good.
That's what I got.
And Patrick, what's your next one?
It is Mikazuki August from Iron Blooded Orphans.
He's an actual orphan, so.
Yeah.
Well, you chose all 15. Orphans.
He's also 15 in the beginning of Iron Blooded Orphans, so he's definitely a kid.
That's how Pat understands children. They're all orphans.
They're all orphans.
It's like Black Dynamite.
They're all Black Dynamite.
We're saying about these children. The orphans don't have parents.
Exactly. I chose because he was, for being a 15-year-old, this guy was very methodical and very vengeful, and again, just like May, brought up rough and brought that to his life and how he viewed things, and I like that kind of rough and tough kind of character. Unlike May, though, he'd go the whole way if he crossed the line.
Yeah, his morals were a little more questionable.
Yes, because that's how we just remember. Like I think he even says in the show that he doesn't know how to read or write because why bother? It wasn't part of his life. He didn't need it to survive.
Yeah,
that's not what your doctor would say. How many am I supposed to take?
And I also dug him because he started fighting in just a homemade mobile suit that he made.
Yeah, this show is pretty dark, so
yeah. So I enjoyed Mecha.
My final one is from Genesis Climber Mospeada. It's going to be Mint LeBlue or Mint LaBelle if you're in Robotech.
Or Patty LaBelle if you like R&B.
Mint is one of those characters where you're like, how old is she? Because sometimes she's really like childish, and then other times she's like, okay, this is getting a little creepy. Like, the whole show, you're like, I'm so confused. Turns out she's about 13, so we'll give. It's my first teenager on my list. So, but yes, she is a great character, fun, and adding to the whole little group of the Mospeada clan. There, she's an important character in the group as kind of the moral. Like, this is why we're fighting, is for this little girl. And she also has some strange, like, shower scenes, which is not appropriate. And you're like, what the hell's going on? And,
well, I feel like that runs rampant in Gundam, doesn't it?
Yeah, in anime in general. But this one is, I like Mint. Her name's Annie, but everybody calls her Mint for some reason. And she has an ET hat. That's all that matters. And we're on to Brian's final one.
All right. Well, I'm rounding out my list with Simone the Digger from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann.
It was actually a honorable mention out to Shinji Ikari, who also was on my list in a tight race for this spot. But Simone is another character who, we over the course of the series get to see him go through all sorts of ups and downs, and obviously maturing into a full-grown adult, and even an old man, we get to see him. But seeing him when in his younger days, when he's got Kamina as kind of the older brother character, his mentor, showing him the ropes and helping push him in all sorts of ways that help him grow. It's just a really fascinating arc to see that character, really kind of go through some very Gurren Lagann's all about very strong emotions, right? And so, the core of that character, and there's a great scene where Kamina is talking to Yoko, their friend, about him, is his doggedness and diligence and just perseverance through all sorts of hardship is what like drives Kamina to like excites him to like keep going as well. Like they have a really great dynamic that way, and so that persistence and ability to kind of overcome and grow through hardship, I think, is a really fascinating and really excellent character. I was always a big fan of the full-throated passion that is Gurren Lagann. Despite it's got its missteps for sure, but the energy that show can really drive out of you has always been impressive, and Simone is a key a key element there on that. So yeah, Simone the Digger.
And Pat, last but not least, what's your last guy?
My last one is going to be the original. Amuro Ray.
Basic bitch.
He basically, Amuro is the first, like I said, Gundam. Mobile Suit Gundam was kind of my really big
first
intro. Yeah, my really first big intro into mobile suits and Mecha in general. And Amuro Ray was the pilot of that first mech. So he will always be...
It was his story, for sure.
Yeah, the little kid who piloted the suit and then won a war.
And became
even though he cheated a lot and just because he couldn't beat Char on an even basis.
And he was a whiny child.
He definitely got whiny, but
good old
from time to time. But
what's his name? Slapped him. So
slapped the crap out of him too.
Not even his father slapped him.
Yeah, even
his father didn't end well either.
Christ, I'm so tired that I've forgotten what's his name. Who's the guy that was the military guy that he met in the town?
Rambaral.
And even Rambaral knew he was still a kid, but respected him, and I thought that was cool as a pilot.
Yeah, it's
well, this kid's about to pull a gun on us. I respect the heck out of that.
So, Amuro, I chose Amuro as my last one because he was the first, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a classic choice.
And the first that I like, there were other things I used to watch when I was a little kid, but I didn't watch them with the same way as I did Gundam. Mm-hmm. Like, I read home from school in the 4th, 5th grade and watched Speed Racer, Prince Planet, Johnny Sokka and his robot, and all those. But I didn't watch them I watched them with a more grown-up head because I was already in high school when I watched Gundam. So
yeah,
it's a different appreciation and a different way of viewing those shows. And of course, now that I look back, I should like with those other shows, I can appreciate that in a way other than some 8-year-old running home from school watching these cool Japanese shows that with big giant robots, and I don't get it. Yeah,
that's why I didn't choose like Spike from Transformers. Say it's because that was you're a kid, you're like Spike's cool, but when you're an adult, you're like Spike's not cool.
Spike is definitely not cool of them all. So,
but yeah. So my honorable mentions for me, I was going to. There's also Astro Boy, one of the first. Like you could
Astro Boy,
Astro Boy's good.
But
I could have even went with Speed Racer at some point.
Yeah. I was going to do Chim Chim. Is he a child monkey?
Yeah, Chim Chim is the monkey. No, Sprocket is the monkey. No, Chim Chim is the monkey. Sprocket is the kid.
Yeah. The one I really was going to do, and I thought you guys would yell at me, was Ariel Gundam from Mercury. She's just a little kid.
Technically, she's the older sister.
They never say how old Speed Racer was, other than he was just a young kid.
He was under 20. From your rules for children is under 20. He was definitely a child.
Well, he's under 18, I think. I mean, you're not an adult. Technically, in America, you're not an adult till 18.
I think 16 is the legal age, but
in Alabama, maybe.
You Americans, you got your ideas. Anyways,
indeed.
If anybody else has some mentions, please comment below or comment on our Facebook page. Tell us who your favorite children. Maybe not adults like Pat picked, but actual children.
Speed Racer might have been adult because it says here he was 18 at the beginning of the season.
Really? I would never have guessed he was that old.
Yeah, neither did I. I was thinking like 16, maybe 15.
Yeah, for sure. He seemed younger. But if you have any honorable mentions yourself, please let us know who you like, and we will say, oh yeah, we forgot about that guy, because there were so many that we were like,
Yes.
I kind of just went, okay, what children can I remember in anime? And so those ones I picked. But you could pick any Gundam pilot because they're all children. It's the whole point is they're children and they're fighting wars. That is the whole point of Gundam. So there was a lot to choose from. You could choose from any Gundam pilots.
Who was that other gal that Char was kind of raising that had the same kind of telepathy?
The psychic
that
girl.
Amuro
Yeah.
had? What was her name again?
Was that Quest?
Yeah, Quest.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
She was definitely a child, I would think.
In Counterattack? Yeah,
Yeah.
she was a child.
She died, though, so.
Rita Hathaway, who is also a child, who has a new movie coming out.
Yeah, that's right. Couldn't have talked about him. There's tons of children that are especially it's a thing of the genre is to have these children fighters. So there was a lot to choose from. And if you want teenagers, that's why I try to avoid teenagers because it was too easy. There's just too many. So
yeah, I tried to keep it below 16.
Yeah, but other than that, please let us know who your favorite child what do they call fighter warrior, because they're all PTSDs. Yeah, child soldiers. They all have PTSD, I'm sure. So yeah, I won't spoil it. I was going to spoil something, but I'm not going to. So anyways, we'll go on to the exfil. Let's get out of here before I start spoiling stuff for everyone.
Let's exfil out of here.
Welcome back to the end of the show. This is the exfil, where we get the hell out of here. This has been a fun, cold February episode. It's a short month.
True.
We congratulate Brian on his future child.
Thank you.
Current child. Future for us, current for you guys.
Present child.
We congratulate
Time
Brian
travel's
on
hard.
Simon Esquivel Amaru.
Yeah. Did you get to name?
Novak.
You can't sneak any Mecha names in there.
Nah, it's going to be tricky at this point, but we'll see.
We should name him Atlas.
And yeah, we'll be back next month for another exciting episode. Hopefully, we'll be coming out of winter by then. By March. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, we all live in the north. It's going to be crappy in March. So
At least till May.
May. Jeez, I like April at least.
We always get a blizzard in April. Then it goes on till May.
Yeah. If you're cold, please let us know below. But otherwise, like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, and if you're from the south, how's that snow?
Join us on Twitter or X, if you shall name it. For those who are still there, and we're also on Blue Sky, and we're on the old Facebooks. So,
and we're on some kind of list. We're the 6 best.
We're on some kind of
We're
list.
definitely on lots of lists. That's for sure.
I don't even know where that list came from, but it showed us at number 6. So
we're 6th best Gundam podcast. It seems we do talk about Gundam a lot, but if we're the 6th best, it's not much selection out there.
Yeah.
But anyways, enjoy your time until next month. I've been Rob.
I've been Brian.
And I've been Chopper.
And this has been Mobile Armor Radio. See ya.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
This has been Mobile Armor Radio. Join our Facebook group by searching for Mobile Armor Radio. Find us on Twitter @MArmorRadio. Join us on the first of every month for more Mecha discussion.